Hello everyone and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit, where we're going to talk about what really happened 2 nights ago. Because it sounds like the president shot at Simeon, which I get. I feel like there's something we're missing here. I'll admit I flew my balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Gambit and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. Then he pointed his gun at me first. So his story is that he just happened to witness the events on the roof from the balloon. If Simeon hadn't come along when he did,
the Judge Gambit might have been in serious trouble.
So he's basically our savior, right?
I don't think it's quite that simple. After all, he was there to commit a crime too.
But in order to expose that crime, we'll need to go over his testimony in detail. There must be a hole in it somewhere. Okay, let's press that.
Around what time would that have been?
Just after 11, I think. That's when you and your pal went up to the roof, right, Your Honor? Yes, it was. No contradictions there, but the fact that we've confirmed the time is important nonetheless. Because I arrived when I did.
Hold it!
So you didn't expect to find the two of them there?
Of course not. Why would I? But it's lucky I got there when I did. We all know what would have happened if I had been any later. He was just about to try and kill you, Gavel. You really didn't suspect a thing. I'm afraid I did not. I had no idea. Maybe you shouldn't have blabbed to him about the kid. Did you ever think of that? I was merely trying to. What kind of mother are you? You're lucky he didn't kill you and then go after the boy.
I'm your opponent here, not Judge Gavel. Now leave her alone and tell us what we need to know. Don't worry, Your Honor. I'll take it from here.
In your debt, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Sean. I trust that you will look after us both. And I pray that the goddess of justice will watch over us all. Your precious goddess didn't even warn you there was a balloon right behind you.
Hold it!
Okay.
He made her leave, but why? Wasn't he planning to kill her?
Sure, but I bet he didn't want to do it in front of witnesses. Murders don't tend to like that. It's fair. She still didn't know he was the real president. He wasn't the real president, right? His secret was safe for the time being. Yeah, that stands to reason. And now that he knew about Sean, he could kill both of them whenever he wanted. You two got lucky when he died, huh? What the frowns? I'd be smiling from ear to ear if I were you.
I don't think anybody will be smiling until this matter has been cleared up once and for all. So please, continue if you would.
Your wish is my command. Where were we? Oh, yeah, that coward of a fake president. I guess a witness suddenly appearing in the sky must have shaken him up pretty badly and he panicked. Pointer's gun at me and fired.
Hold it!
How much to dispute there?
You're lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket.
Yeah, I tried to get out of there, but the second he pulled out the gun, couldn't have my balloon go and pop. But it was a close run thing.
So you left right then and there?
Of course it did. He was shooting at me. Are you saying there's a problem with that? Does that present a problem? I feel like the fact that it's asking me and I have literally nothing else to present means, there's a problem?
Yeah, and you managed to leave Kay there on the rooftop. Which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you?
Oh, yeah. I guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. I hung around a little longer to make sure that the coast was clear, then I landed on the roof.
Would you mind appending that statement to your testimony?
Sure. Makes no difference to me. Alright, press that.
That leads to the storeroom where the items from the underground auction were kept.
That auction? My memories are still a bit fuzzy, but the auction was 2 days ago, right?
Indeed, the auction was being held on the 50th floor that day.
And a bunch of people were going in and out of the storeroom while it was happening, yes? Yes.
They were, which means that if the president really did escape that way, as Mr. Saint says, somebody must have seen him. There's no way he could have passed through there unnoticed.
The problem is the time at which the event occurred. But should the times line up, I can think of a certain piece of evidence that could prove helpful to our cause. So his story is that he just happened to witness the events on the roof from the balloon. If Simeon hadn't come along when he did...
Judge Gavel might have been in serious trouble.
So he's basically your savior, right?
I don't think it's quite that simple. After all, he was there to commit a crime too.
In order to expose that crime, we'll need to go over his testimony in detail. There must be a hole in it somewhere. I'll admit, when I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Gavel and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. I don't think he was oh, I didn't mean to do that. Nope, we can just skip right through that. Only the president noticed me, and he made the good judge leave right away. I don't think there's anything in his statement that is, like, refutable. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired. I feel like this has, like, an outside chance of being a thing. Huh. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch onto the 51st floor. So that would have been... Yeah, where'd he go? Trying to piece this together. Where was I going with this? Pointed his gun at me and fired. The victim in this case, body double who took the real President Wang's place after he murdered him 12 years ago. I don't think what I want is in here. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch to the 51st floor. Pointed his gun at me and fired. Do I have anything to refute that? If only the president noticed me and he made the good judge leave right away. So that's the beginning of things we can really... Flew the balloon up to the roof when I arrived. Okay, nothing we can do there. That's definitely not the statement. Judge Gavel and the president were already there. That came as a surprise, I have to say. Do I think that he's actually surprised? I feel like the answer to that is no. But was he surprised? It is certainly possible. Only the president noticed me right away, and he made the good judge leave right away. I don't think I have anything to refute that. I feel like that's solid. Then he pointed his gun at me and fired. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch on the 51st floor. I feel like... What do I have that can kind of refute that from this? A report from Warden Lagarde to Chairman Winner. Well, what did it say? Alright, that's not gonna help me. Bug, mislights tape. Then he pointed his gun at me. Oh, sorry. Most common what surprise, what did you do then? Anything anybody with half a brain would have done. I tried to get out of... Wait, did I not do this?
But that faker was even more of a coward than I thought. This violence at the court.
I thought I got all these. Sorry. Dang, no wonder. I was like, feel so lost. Figures you more coward than I thought. Violence at the court. Yeah, remember the presidential plane, all that protective gear he had?
In my experience, cowards often resort to violence when cornered.
They do, huh? Are you saying that you're about to resort to violence yourself?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'll be resorting to neither to excessive violence, nor to overly cautious defense. I'll simply be attacking and defending as the situation requires. Now, would you mind describing the president's actions in a little more detail?
Not gonna bite, huh? You're no fun. Let's get back to the 51st floor. Did I not do this either?
The hatch that leads to the storeroom where the items from the underground auction were kept.
That auction? Oh yeah, right. Shoot. All right. Man, what am I missing? There's an entrance to hidden to the 51st floor. Alright, so he knows about that. Oh, that's a little suspicious though. How would he know that that was the 51st floor? Unless he had been there and gone through the thing. I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket for a second. Source head, playback sound, that was there. Shows President Wang, Judge Gavel arriving at the roof of the big building. There's no footage of the president. Oh, alright, so that kind of actually reinforces what he said. Oh! Objection! Got him.
You're lying to us again.
I am.
The president never entered the storeroom the night before last. Ms. Hart testified to that fact.
What? You please the word of a two-bit hack over mine. I beg your gosh darn pardon. I'll say it about it, Chief, again, I'll dare you. I'll wipe that smile right off of your stupid clown face. We know Hart was camped out on the 51st floor that entire evening. But if our fake president didn't escape through there, then how the heck did he get off of the floor, the roof?
An excellent question. One that I hope to provide the answer to next.
Okay. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither that nor the hatch are possibilities. Which leaves only one possible way of escaping the rooftop.
No, the president left the rooftop if it wasn't via the elevator or the hatch.
Oh. Does that have to do with Kate? Did she say she saw people floating? Rooftop, if it wasn't... Alright, we need a thing. Left via Torosaurus. No. Torosaurus plushie. Nothing in the footage that helps, right? It's just them walking up and not leaving. Didn't see that. We already got our match onto that. Response rehearsal tape. Yeah. Blue truck. Mechanics gloves. Report on night. Man, this got much more difficult to think through. Like, I have a decent idea of what's happening plot-wise, but as far as what specific clues they're looking for, this actually got a lot harder. Bug, Miss Lloyd's tape. Intercepted, that doesn't help. How did the president leave the rooftop if it wasn't... second out. Oh, did he get on the balloon? That would explain a lot, actually. But what does that break? I feel like that breaks a lot of what we already thought we knew about this. Right?
Take that!
He flew.
Oh, yeah. That is the perfect way to say that. He flew?
Yes, in Mr. Saint's balloon.
Why would they work together? That doesn't make any sense. But I had absolutely nothing else that worked. So why?
Objection!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Quit fooling around, will ya? Why in the world would give a guy a lift in my balloon? That's a fair question because he seems to really hate that guy.
Objection!
There was a security camera on the elevator. Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left that rooftop.
Objection!
No, it's true. You know what the circus is all about? Making the audience think you're in danger, giving them a thrill. But it's time to bring this act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am.
What do you mean?
Watch and learn. Miss Hart, can I ask you something? You were keeping a guard on the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment. Are you gonna try to argue that, like, oh, well, while she blinked for a second, she missed the president? Just crazy coincidence. Oh, you bet your big toe I was. I done said as much in my testimony. Huh. So the noise, the sound of Miles' faithful assistant falling through the hatch. That didn't scare you so badly that you fainted. Shoot. So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out unconscious, you might say. What happened? That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. Crap, she did admit to that. Ah! Alright, back to the drawing board, I guess. What? So what if I did? Ain't a girl in the world don't get caught a little unaware sometimes. Sorry, Miles, but that's what you get for putting your faith in these people.
It doesn't matter. UK can't have fallen down the hatch until after the president left the roof.
That's true. No, I think that's right. Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter theory. I don't think that's true. The coward fake president fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down that hatch. So what if he did? What would that mean? Come on now. Surely even you can see what I'm doing here. It's elementary. If the president hid until after Miss Hart fainted, he could have passed right through the 51st floor undetected.
No.
And there we have it. Little theory about a secret storeroom falls apart.
No.
You have to do that to me in my own voice. That's right. Oh, and another thing. I might have let Sean's identity slip to our pal, the president, while he was hiding in the shadows. That's why he went to the set to try and murder him the next day, only to wind up being killed himself. Interesting. So the fake president, what? Oh, that's actually really believable and probably out of everything. The one thing I believe Simeon about. That the fake president would try to get Gavel and Sean out of the way because they know too much. That's right. It was Sean who murdered the body double. No.
What possible reason could the boy have for doing so?
Oh, a pretty good one. He already knew he was the president's son.
How did you discover that exactly?
Because I told him in one of my trademark letters.
What?
He's lying. Oh, you bet I am. Huh? Or am I? Maybe I did tell him, and maybe I didn't. Well, Shawnee boy, which is it? It was my fault the Torosaurus head fell off the roof. I admitted that much already. But I didn't find out about my dad until today, I swear. Huh. Well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug. But who knew it was you who made it fall? The president died from being crushed, was it? Knack. Alright, well, that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge. That ties everything up pretty neatly, wouldn't you say? So I guess you'd say something more like...
And so the pieces fall into place at last. Well, counter my unassailable logic if you can.
Ooh, alright. The murder of the so-called president. I guess I want to start this fresh. Don't want to be in the middle of it. So we'll call it here. Got to imagine we're close to the end, but we'll see. I'm still enjoying this already. Curious to see where this is all going to end up, and I hope you are as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.